Hello, welcome to a long overdue for the three of you that respond. Uh, Episode 10 out of the park 22. Perfect draft series, dynasty, whatever you want to call it. I've been getting uh, feedback from the three of you, and I appreciate it. Um, One person, uh, and I think it's GR. Um, Said, could you do could you recap the draft for the previous video, which is what I was doing, and then it was like 30 minutes long. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to be a more efficient this time, minus this intro. This was the tournament. This is the team from episode 9. Uh, we got to the second round. I haven't even looked at this yet. See, this is what I don't like. It continues to do this thing where it resets my I guess this doesn't really matter for this one, but it resets the way my layout goes. We got to the second round. We did have the best relievers and third best closer. We were excellent on the left side of the infield, which was to be expected. And Heavy Johnson was pretty fantastic, but we lacked everywhere else, which is I think to be expected. Um, it honestly really didn't show up that much in our standings, like in our rankings. Um, yeah, we were top half in most things. Our defense was lacking for zone radiant errors, but our efficiency was second. We were second at stole the bases, which I always try to be top 2 or top 3. Uh, it looks like we just ran into a better team. Our on base probably lacked here. Like we were, yeah, second quadrant in all of the offensive stuff. We were kind of second quadrant everything. I guess we would be pegged to finish in the second round if you look at everything. That kind of makes sense because we're top half, but we're not top fourth. And so that makes sense if I look at the playoffs here. The tournament tree, the team we lost to fell in the semis to the Pittsburgh Quakers, which doesn't make any sense because there weren't Quakers in Pittsburgh. Um, yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense on that one. Uh, and it's conceivable here that we were better than the team we lost to, but we lost. So what are you gonna do? All right. Um, I was also asked to show my strategy settings and all that. So this might be lengthier. I'll try and do the draft quickly. I haven't picked one yet. I will do not that. I will do this one. Number 1852. 1852. 16 person. Um, there's 4 in it right now. Also, one of the followers said they were in the draft, I believe, with me or in the tournament with me for that particular team. I have to go back and look at it and see how they did. Or you could respond in the comments to this one on how you did in that one. Let's get this rolling, shall we? Um, I have been in a few of these. I've been out of town for the past few days. I had a death in the family, and I had to go to Pennsylvania. We got back very late last night. A lot of driving over the past couple of days from Rhode Island to Pennsylvania and back. All right. So this Bartolo Colon is going to be the front runner. I mean, look, it's got everything except holding runners. Excellent stamina. Everything is there. The movement, I guess, but the control just makes up for that. There's also Brickyard Kennedy. I mean Ben Zobrist, you're getting somebody who can play a lot of positions, and actually that isn't I have not seen this card. That's a pretty good card for flexibility. Huh. That's really not bad for the switch hitting, and the speed is kind of there, but you can play second and right field and feel comfortable with all of that. I mean, you could play left field. I would want to try and gear towards second base or right field, but that's a heck of a card, all things considered. Um, there's Dom DiMaggio, who is pretty darn good, and I've been really struggling with outfield depth lately. Though I had Oscar, well, yeah, I had Oscar Charleston, and I struggled to get people around him in my most recent tournament that was done off camera. Boy, that Zobrist is tempting. I'm gonna stick with Bartolo Colon just because it's such a dominant pitcher. But I'm actually gonna look up Zobrist for perfect team. See if I can snag that card, even though I have like no points anymore because I got Oscar Charleston and Cool Papa Bell. Willie McGee, I have used Willie McGee in the past. Really, really like this Willie McGee card. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. There we go. We won't have that happen again. Okay, I'm going to take McGee. I know, uh, I know this card is very good, but again, I've been struggling with getting good outfielders, and Willie McGee is a fantastic outfielder. And then there's Fred Snodgrass. McGee plays center only. Yeah, he's not good in right field. Snodgrass, I mean, you could put him in a bunch of different places because he's not particularly good defensively. You could put him in left field, and you're going to get kind of the same as you would in center. And Willie McGee helps shadow, like, overcome a lot of his deficiencies defensively. So it is a front runner. I need to look at Doc White. There is Deacon White. It's probably gonna be Deacon White. The control being average is okay, not great. If it were a ground ball pitcher, I'd be way more inclined to take Doc White. As it is, I mean, you get a 99 Deacon White, or yeah, Deacon White here. Um, and somebody again along that flexibility vein. I think I'm more inclined to play Deacon White at first base or maybe a catcher. Probably not catcher, but first base, I would probably be inclined to play him, and everything else really checks out for me. So we'll go with Deacon White. Yeah, I know there's 98 hater, but I'm gonna go with Deacon White. So I've got really first baseman at center fielder and one pitcher. And this round is not looking particularly great. Uh, the Ricky Nolasco is decent. The movement obviously isn't great, but it's really, there's so many pitches that are above average. Tommy Canley uh, is all right. Jim Brosnan is good, though. A fly ball, yeah, that's all right. This is probably a two-pitcher round. Wes Farrell, extreme fly ball, where nothing particularly stands out. I'm going to go with Nolasco. Take a look, a couple other cards here. Jim Delaney. I mean, I think most Delaney's are good cards. I mean, the speed is such a siren to me because the defense is terrible. Bruce Ruffin. Bruce Ruffin on the Phillies was not, he wasn't very good, but he was good in Colorado, and he's extreme ground ball. But the control is severely lacking. And then George Brown, not bad, but again, you're looking at it at a DH situation for the most part. I think I will take, boy. Brosnan or Canely. That's, I mean, the stuff is there. The movement isn't great. The control is worse. You got the inverse here of Brosnan. I'm gonna take Brosnan because, I mean, I got Willie McGee out in center field. His movement and control, I'm gonna value in this case. All right. So 3 pitchers in. Charlie Martin is a card I particularly like. That's probably going to happen for this. I mean, he's a ground ball pitcher with 6 plus pitches. I know the movement isn't really there, but you have so many pitches that's gotta, yeah. And Zach Duke as well. Also being a ground ball pitcher who the movement really stands out. It kind of makes that easy. That really does take my rotation and settle it. Chick Heafy. It's a good card, but it's a DH card. That's what this is. So I'm gonna lean into the pitching just to keep this moving. Also, because I want the pitching. Biz Mackey, that's a no-brainer. That's an absolute no-brainer. A catcher who can run and defend like crazy. Yep. And Dustin Pedroia. I really like this Dustin Pedroia card. I do. It's just an overall solid card. Harry Lumley also very solid. Again, the defense isn't great. I apologize for that. The defense isn't great. This is a card where I could take this and be okay with it with Willie McGee because everything else really checks out well. So I'm gonna go with that. So I get oh, there's Vidal Brujan. Oh man, there are some really good choices this round. Because this Brujan is an excellent card. I'm gonna take this over the Lumley. Yeah. Because this is, I mean, this and Willie McGee at the top of the lineup with Deacon White following. Yeah, I like that. And also you can put Brujan at second base, and that really solidifies the right side of the infield. This Pat Listash, this is his Rookie of the Year card. The defense is decent. I mean, the hitting is, yeesh, it's okay, but the speed is also there, and I'm going to be hard pressed to get a better shortstop at this stage. I'm going to take the Listash and just keep leaning. I mean, it probably means that Willie McGee is my number 3 hitter, and I'm really basing myself on speed. And I do like rolling on the speed. I really like leaning on that. After that, Hunter Dozier is okay. This would probably mean that Deacon White plays third base. Stan Ferens, let's see him. That's all right. That's okay. A 2-pitch pitcher, slider and a splitter. That's, oh, I mean, there's worse. Demery, no. John Satoris, the control being average. I could see myself getting by with this with a fly ball pitcher. Ron Piche or Piche. That's a good cutter action. Decent movement. I mean, still fly ball pitcher, average control, splitter curve or cutter curve. Dave Revering, I haven't looked at this. It's so disingenuous to make him a 77 at first base just because the range is there. The error, I mean, this is a DH card. Now, it's a pretty decent DH card. In fact, one I think I may lean into. I am going to lean into it. I think this round's a see the same thing. A 14 in air does not mean you're an 8 or 70 at first base. It's impossible. It boggles the mind. Now I've got 5 pitchers. My goal through this round is to get 8. I'll take the Revering. I have not had that card yet. And here's one where I'm going to take Harry Williams. He could be my third baseman or my second baseman. Or no, if Bruhan's going to play second base, and Lestat at short, Harry Williams would be my third baseman with Deacon Jones as my first baseman. And then we get where I'm going to take a pitcher after this. Now, if I'm using Blake Snell as a reliever, this is not a terrible card. But I think this Dick Lines might be a better card. Being a ground ball pitcher with a very plus pitch at my infield defense kind of makes that better. Yeah, we're gonna take Lines and try and build toward that defense. Now you'll notice again my outfielders. I only have one outfielder. I have to find one here, which means I'm gonna struggle with pitching in the bronze rounds most likely. I've been taking a lot of lefties lately. Josh Taylor is a very good card. I mean, the average control, it's everything else kind of helps override that. This is one where I struggle. Like Clay Meredith being extreme ground ball with 2 below average pitches, but excellent control and above average movement. I think the Meredith is a card I can get by with. And then after that, Harry Simpson, good hitter. I need outfielders. He's not really a outfield defender, and I'd like to get some offensive guys. 50 in left field, everything's average. The hit is all right, except for the power. You're not getting any power out of Alex Metzler. But good everything else. Zaza, the defense not where I'd like it to be. I think I might take this Meltzer or Metzler and put him in left field. Just compare those quickly. Yeah, it's a better hitter overall. The power's there with Harry Simpson. But the defense, actually looking at this, yeah, the Metzler I think has to get taken. Like they're comparable on the ratings, but defensively, Metzler is actually functional, whereas Simpson's really a first baseman. I mean, Willie McGee can only stretch so far. So this is one where I'm gonna hope to gotta get Dan Gladden. Oh, Taylor Trammell. That's a pickup. That's an easy pickup. That's not even a question for that. I got 7 pitchers. Let's see. Are there any pitchers? Is this Jake Early decent at defense? No. How's Jake McGee? Jake McGee is okay, but the movement's not great. I would lean into taking ground ball pitchers here. So at least if I can. Don Hahn. That's a fun name. Lourdes Gurriel, this card is okay. Another person who could play outfield primarily with a decent hit stick. Charlie Culbertson, I'm pretty sure he could play multiple positions, but he doesn't do any of them all that well. Okay. Not much. I'm under 5 minutes, so I should try and pick this up. Sean Burrows, I mean, that's going to be a bench bat. Which is kind of what I'm just looking for here. Early, The arm is there, the ability's not. And everything else isn't really. Not that I'm going to get a good catcher in this round anyway. I'll take McGee and just wait. Luis Polonia. Ooh. All right, forget what I said about McGee. I'll take Polonia. Obviously, the running is there. I mean, as a bench bat, I could do a lot worse. And he can kind of play left field. So there we go. Two left fielders. That's a good round. Jamie Easterly is a card I believe I've used before, and it's a card I will use here. It has the groundwork of a good ground ball pitcher, but not being a ground ball pitcher. That kind of does hurt a little bit. And I guess I'll probably take Francisco Mejia. I don't want to get stuck with just one catcher. It's just not a thing I want to have happen. Richard Blyer, this is an extreme ground ball with not much movement, but awesome control. Boy, actually, I'm going to take him over Easterly. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take Mejia. Just, I really need to get that catcher. So I have 8 pitchers. I'd like to get 2 more in this round. Of course, Bruce Edwards shows up, though his defense isn't better than me. So Frank Isbell. Oh, God. Okay. I will probably end up taking this. I mean, yeah, I am. The defense is moderately passable. I mean, it's better than all those other disingenuous cards. He can bat, but really he can run. Like he could be a late game switch, and I can be okay with that. And plus, I mean, he can functionally play 2 positions, which he really can't, but it's there are worse situations, I suppose. Bob Miller is a right-handed Easterly. I already took a second catcher. That's right. Jim Todd, extreme ground ball, poor stuff, but I'm kind of wondering. I think I'll take this as a test case on how a pitcher with extreme ground ball and poor stuff does. Because I haven't studied the statistics on that yet. So I think I'll take that. And, Don Gross looks, oh, shoot. Well, I think the arithmetic might have just changed. I think I have to take Don Gross. And Jim Todd can wait for another day. So I'll be a rating snob. Going to the final round, I got 1 minute. I need to get 2 pitchers. Yeah, I need to get 2 pitchers. So let's Carl Doyle. Oh God, that control. Everything's great except that control. And there's not much to pick from here, is there? Joel Finch will be a pickup. Ground ball pitcher. I mean, all right. Really lean into the ground balls. Tommy Nance. Okay. That's reasonable. Just let's look at Almanzar. No, I'm going to take Nance. I'm going to take Nance. And that will be all right. Justin Upton. Good power stick. Really not much else. Terminal Sledge. He can play a couple positions. He's average. He's very average. I gotta pick my guys now because I'm gonna freak out that I'm gonna Sledge, Andy Ibanez, decent defense, okay running, okay. Oh, I still gotta pick one more. Shoot. All right, just take Parkinson and be done with it. Okay. So let's go through this quickly, shall we? So I'm not exhausting anybody who's watching. I will set my pitching. I'll stick with the role, like the general roles as opposed to going stopper on this. I'll stick with that. My lineups. I am pretty good with the lineups, I guess. Harry Williams playing second base over Listash at shortstop. I mean, I get it. And that puts Deacon White at third base. I think I might want to switch that because who's my DH? It's Frank Isbell. Oh, well, actually. Um, hmm. Ah, boy. That's an interesting. I don't know. I mean, I guess I stick with it. I mean, if I look at Harry Williams versus Pat Listash, Listash has the better hit tool, and against lefties, I guess maybe I switch that around against lefties. I could do that because the defense is pretty decent. I mean, yeah, the shortstop overall rating is not great, but the defense is passable for a shortstop. Where I come up Bruhan at second base, I put Williams at third, I put um Deacon White at first. That's my best defense. I should do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. So out is Frank Isbell. And I did that wrong. Because of course I did. I don't even know what I just did. I really don't know what I just did. Oh, I took Harry Williams out. That's what I did. Oh, we'll do that. We'll do that. And we'll do that. And then we'll do that. And if I'm gonna switch anything around, which I don't think I'm going to, actually I'll put Trammell, I'll put Listash at the bottom of the lineup. All right. I'll spare doing the left-handed. No, I won't. Because I might forget it. So we'll switch, we'll just keep moving guys around. If I build a team based on ground ball defense, I want to have the best infield defense I can have. It just that honestly, it makes the most sense. Now, here, this is bad against the lefties. So this is one where Harry Williams is going to bump up at least to the 6th spot. And I'll move Listash there, I suppose. Okay. I think I can live with that. All right. Now the strategy. So I don't mess with the overall strategy that much, though I can do infield shifts here because I do have a good infield defense. So I think I can get away with that. I think I can also hold runners more effectively because I have a good infield defense. I will favor lefty righty matchups for pitching, and then the rest will be on the offensive side or on the individual side. So just looking at the control guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pitch around guys with Bartolo, with Big Sexy, as is on his 2021 Donruss card. I'm gonna do it to a lesser extent here with Ricky Nolasco, and I'm definitely gonna do it with Richard Blyer. I do have more control guys this round or this draft than I normally do. I'll do it with Clay Meredith. and with Jim Brosnan. I haven't seen, actually, I'll take that down a little bit. I haven't seen if there's a correlation between uh, revving up the pitch around and more walks. I haven't seen that yet. Okay, the last thing I do is adjust the individual stealing bases for and base running for my players. I could do it, making sure to override. I gotta make sure I did the override on the pitchers. I could do that off camera. And actually for Isbell, I need to turn down the base running. There we go. Let me just change to my batting and running, just so it lines up a little better for me. Isbell's also somebody who I'm going to turn up the bunt for a hit. And I could also, I don't really like sacrifice bunting, so I'm going to not do that. Deacon White, yeah, you turn him up all the way. Bruhan, you turn up. I mean, I turn up 3 and 2. He was already up 1. Harry Williams, I could have steal. Take 1 off for that. And then where is he? He's there. I could turn him on that list dash. I mean, same thing. I'm gonna turn him up on the stealing of bases, not so much on the base running. Polonia, you just go up, up. Actually, you know, I'm not going all the way up because he's only an 81 on stealing. Yeah, it's blue, but it's not in the 90s or above 85. Trammell, I could turn up reasonable. And of course, Willie McGee. I mean, the speed, like I kind of want to rev him up all the way because of the speed. I'm going to leave it 1 tick off in Netzler. Oh, I looked at the wrong thing. Netzler is a good base runner, so I'm going to turn that up, but he's not fast. Oh, and Biz Mackey, I got to turn him up a little bit. All right, this is one of the better defensive teams that I've had, I think. I'm not positive on that, but I think it is. Let me just double check and make sure. Yeah, I did adjust to I have to make sure that that overrides like that. That's something I do forget once in a while is the making sure to click the override because I'm not doing this as a team-wide strategy. And so anytime you're doing team-wide or individual, you got to click the override. All right, we submit, and that will do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed episode 10 of this perfect draft, whatever. And I'll talk to you on the next one.